Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coming Out Galactic podcast, where we explore the profound connections between humanity and our galactic family. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm here to guide you through the transformative journey of remembering who you truly are. We live in extraordinary times where the veils are thinning, and many of us are awakening to the realization that we are so much more than this earthly experience, and also questioning if we're even alone. Galactic beings, our star families, are reaching out, assisting us as we navigate this profound shift. They come bearing wisdom, healing, and unconditional love, reminding us of the home that is our soul. And on this podcast, we dive deep into these connections, sharing stories, insights, and activations that help you to feel the presence of home within. Together, we explore how connecting with our galactic guides can support us in aligning with our gifts, embracing our truth, and co-creating a new earth rooted in peace, love, and unity. So if you're ready to step into the cosmic conversation and remember the brilliance of who you are, then you're in the right place. So let's journey beyond the stars, because Coming Out Galactic is all about coming home to yourself. Let's get started. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new, then welcome. You have come at the perfect time, for I have started a clean slate, a fresh start, if you will. And if you're wondering where season 1 and season 2 is, you can find those now on Spotify, and season 2 is on Spotify. Or actually, no, season 2 is on Apple Podcast. But as far as my YouTube and Patreon, I have made a clean slate. I'm starting fresh, so you're here at the perfect time. And if you've been here since the beginning, my journey since 2023, then thank you so much for finding me again. It is your love and support that I am eternally grateful for, and I'm glad that we could be back here in this community space and share love and excitement for all the new things to come. And now I'm going to turn my camera off because Sweet Pea is being crazy this morning, and I'm going to present to you episode 1 of this new and fresh season. Right now, everything is amping up, and I'm sure your nervous system is feeling the intensity of the energies at play. And if you aren't already aware, we are witnessing with our physical bodies the galactic frequency war. Whether you're aware of it or not, I can guarantee that your body is feeling it. So, welcome to Earth. You came here with amnesia to awaken your DNA back into divinity, bringing God, the light, the universe of infinite intelligence into this dark space. That's why you're called a light worker, or as Jesus says, the light of the world. It is you who makes this world a lighter and brighter place where everything around you tries to dim your light. So, congratulations on making it this far and still forging forward with grit, guts, and probably rage. It's a hell of a ride, but I promise there is no greater place to be than right here, right now. You came here with purpose, and I promise that you're living it. So I pray that you know and understand that your purpose and your mission is to be completely, authentically, and brilliantly you. That's where your gift is. Because you, dear one, you are the gift that keeps on giving every freaking time you remember who the hell you are. It sends a burst wave into the ethers as a resounding drum, a force that is assisting in waking up humanity. And that is the intention of this podcast, for you to know that that alone is enough. And anything and everything else that you do is supplemental to this experience. We are energy beings first, and however you present that into your physical reality is your magic. Even if it's looking at a giant rock and saying, I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder. And 10 points if you can name that movie. 20 points if you can name the character, which that's easy. 30 points if you that you can't earn because the name is the animal of the character. Okay, I've given too many hints. All right, anyways, back on track. So if you're here, you likely already know that you are more than just a human body walking through a physical world. You are a being of higher frequency, navigating a reality that often tries to convince you otherwise. So, this episode is about distinguishing between what is happening within all of this noise in the external world, the fears, the societal scripts on, the world's stage, and what is actually true within your soul. A part of the amping up and the intense frequencies that are bombarding us in every direction has to do with external disclosure. And everyone is asking, when, where, how is disclosure? When is it going to take place? And that's another great intention and the purpose for this podcast right now is to keep you centered, sovereign, and ready for the display that is about to take place in our physical reality. Because, spoiler alert, you are actually the disclosure. When you recognize who and what you are, that changes everything. However, this is what they don't want you to know, and they will spend all of their energy siphoning yours to keep you from believing in yourself. So if anyone asks, do you believe in aliens? You can say, of course, I believe in myself. Because aliens are just a higher consciousness state of awareness that is available to all of us who wish to explore that. So here is your permission to stop waiting for disclosure. Unless if it's for the movie Disclosure Day, because I am excited about that. Anyways, okay. So this is your permission to stop waiting for the disclosure event within the news, within the media, within the mainstream, and start recognizing the inner authority that has been waiting for you to remember it, and that you are the disclosure. And what you see in the media is its shadow. I'm going to say that one more time. What you witness in the media is the shadow of true disclosure. So let's talk about the difference between what is present in the field or reality and what is true. So in our daily lives, so much is present, right? There's news cycles, social media feeds, and spiritual guides, gurus who channel beings. Some are benevolent and some are not. Newsflash. I don't know if you know this, but just because you channel a higher being doesn't always mean they're in your best interest. There are two ways of which they service. It is a service to others and a service unto themselves. And also throughout this season, we're going to talk about and help to develop discernment and sovereignty. Okay, so they are real, these guides that they're bringing through, in a sense that, yes, they exist. They do give great information, but they are not all necessarily true for you. And not all of their narratives are a part of your timeline. You get to choose that. I want to remind you of that. Just because, and honestly, if there are any beings or channeled guides that are coming through that try to give you an outlook of the details of any event, I'm going to ask you not to focus on the details because I'm going to tell the future is still unknown. It is a frequency that's going to be brought about. And we all know that that frequency, that trigger, is going to be a fear. That's what they're going to try to plug into the collective, a fear of safety. How that event looks has yet to be determined. That is up to each individual in their own reality, in their own timeline. And that, my dear friends, is what you get to choose. So the more that you can develop a sense of safety, not just within yourself, but within the earth that holds you and hosts you and loves you and nurtures you, you will be fine. It will probably be a less of a blow to the narrative, as steady and safe as you feel within yourself. If you keep chasing narratives of how disclosure is going to go down, you can create more chaos in the field. Okay? So, the truth of everything in a galactic sense is not something that you're going to acquire outside of yourself. It's something you're going to remember, and it's within the frequency of your original design. Okay? All right. So I'll just say this. Just in terms, I'm going to kind of get off track here and just discuss galactic beings and my evolution through understanding that. So I remember in the beginning of my understanding of intergalactic, interdimensional, extraterrestrial, galactic beings at first, I viewed them as beings outside of myself, which, yes, because we live in a reality of manifestation of something physical, they can show up as this. But so that's why it's a little bit of, it's a little tricky because, yes, they can show up externally, but also in the sense of how we know everything is one, right? So like me and you, I am a physical manifestation of maybe something that was brought into your reality to be a spark of remembrance for you. I am just a resonant mirror for you to recognize more of yourself. That is the same thing with galactic beings. So I am hoping that you treat them as that and not a superior being, but more of a mirror trying to reveal something deeper within you. Okay? So at first, I thought these beings, these consciousness that were being channeled were giving me new information. And to my perception of reality back then, it was new information, right? Until it started ringing truth within my cells. So the more I felt into these frequencies, the more it was a resonant tone, a tuning fork, if you will, the more then, once I started channeling galactic beings, the more my cells turned online, my DNA unlocked and awakened to a higher wisdom. And then it became almost like I felt like a personality was unlocked. Well, that's kind of a bad example, but it's all I have right now. Because then these teachings weren't teaching me anything new. Like I said, they were simply holding a mirror, reflecting back the frequency of who I already was that I forgot about, because we come to Earth, we get amnesia, and these galactic beings, these higher resonant frequencies, serve as a tuning fork to expand our awareness of just being a human, to embody a galactic frequency here on Earth, and then live life as that. A new tone, a new expanded life of unlimited potential. So, with my experience through understanding these galactic frequencies, which galactic isn't just aliens, galactic nature is the universe of which we live, like the cosmos, the stars, like beyond just our solar system of the planets, but the actual stars that are light years away. It is understanding that those also have a consciousness that we can tune into to expand beyond our human limitation, expand our mind into a wilder imagination. And then once we understand how this reality works, that wild imagination can begin to form as a manifestation. And that's how we create something new here in this physical reality. So it took me a while to realize this because, I was in denial or questioning rather, how can this be so? Right? Like, and all of these galactic beings, like, why would they want to get in touch with me? Well, it's because I wanted to get in touch with an expanded version of myself. It is a soul calling of recognition of oneself. So I am going to say this, so I hope that you don't put any of these galactic beings, like all of these different channelers that bring through different beings, I hope you don't put them as a superior being. We did that once with the Anunnaki. We kind of got us in a little shit show, so don't do it again. And especially whatever is presented to us in the near future, don't think of it as superior beings. We don't want to get in the same loop again. All right. Okay. So, where was I? Because now I'm off on what had happened in the past. Okay. So, the point of this podcast is to not just have a narrow vision that galactics mean alien. We are literally, like, even within our mineral structure, are the genetic makeup of stars. Like, literally. Each of us carry a different seed to be planted, a different tone to be planted here on Earth. That's why we're called star seeds, right? Here to bloom as a star human. That's probably why you feel you should be famous or a superstar, because that is what you are, coming from afar, reaching from the stars. So run away with me to another place, and we can rely on each other. Uh huh. From one corner to another. Okay. All right. That's the nature of these connections. And not just one star, but all of them. Higher consciousness beings and, well, literally just higher consciousness in general. That's why you're here now with me. You feel that tone. But what I want you to understand is that higher intelligent consciousness doesn't come to replace your authority. They come to amplify it. They are here to help you tune your instrument so that you can hear your own song again and dance to your own beat in this place to share and spread joy. But there's a trap in that. I see it happen often. We mistake the presence of the voice, of these things that are rattling in our mind, for the truth of command and giving away our sovereignty. Okay? So, right now, as we open, there are a lot of things bombarding us right now, the thoughts in our mind. So, just because a thought is loud or feels powerful or even comes from a higher source, it doesn't mean it aligns with your sovereign truth. So, have discernment, hold your sovereignty, because true sovereignty means that you are the final gatekeeper. No being, no matter how high their frequency, no matter how gray they are, no matter how big their head is, has the right to override your inner authority. And so, if any message makes you feel small, fearful, or dependent upon it, it's not the truth you're looking for. So, remember, if you lean too much on channeled guidance right now or anything external from you, it's the most important. Again, I keep saying this over and over, have discernment. All right. And because there's a lot of false light out there right now. Okay. And I spoke a lot on false light in season 2. I am going to start trickling in the past seasons little by little here back on YouTube and on Patreon. But right now, if you go to Spotify or Apple Podcast, I highly suggest listening or revisiting the episode that speaks on false light. Okay. So really, it's just learning how to distinguish the signal from within and the noise that is all around you, because it's loud out here, right? But the truth is already within you. You don't need to go find and seek it. You just need to stop covering it up. All right? And also remember, with everything that's going to happen, or everything that is happening and is going to continue to unfold, as a starseed and a light worker, your mission isn't to save the world by fixing it from the outside. Okay? The best thing that you can do right now is to anchor the truth of who you are so deeply that the world has no choice but to shift around you. And that, my dear friends, is the power of inner authority. All right? So this is episode 1. These are going to be short, simple, to the point. And that's why another reason, like, I'm going to stick to my script, which these came through all the past week because it is go time. I'm excited about it. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey of remembrance. And I hope that this episode reminded you of your spark, your divinity, and encouraged you to seek more deeply inside so that you your channel, your body be the direct connection to higher wisdom. And so if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear more about your moments of remembering and any of your crazy galactic stories, because those help us all to remember and to connect and to spark one another. And in episode 2, we're going to dive into how the 3D versus the 5D world is a trap. Newsflash. And to make sure it's not a loop or patterning that you're finding yourself stuck in. So until then, stay sovereign, stay true, and stay galactic.